So,
But that's a good startup question.
yeah.
I want to answer that.
So welcome back to Traders Cast. The startup is always it used to be the hardest thing ever, starting a podcast, but now I just say welcome back. It's like whatever. But back then I would overthink it. You get me? But as you were saying with the ebook ab system or ab program that you were distributing before, right when Instagram came out, what was that about?
So Instagram, when it first came out, was basically like only for iPhones.
Yeah, I remember.
Were you on Instagram back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
A middle schooler back on Instagram.
How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
Based off of your maturity and knowing a little bit about you, I'm going to say you're at least 25.
24.
24, okay.
24, yeah.
You look young, but because of the conversation we had, I knew you had a little age on you.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm 36, bro. So
yeah.
I've been at this for a long time, and I've been the person you're talking to since I've been 21. So I was always a little ahead of my time. I always had a business mind. Like,
nice. Yeah.
Pretty much every entrepreneur you know. Like I was saying, my first shot at it, I was selling lollipops when I was in 8th grade. You know, I was trying to sell sneakers. I was doing whatever I could do. So when I got into fitness, it was kind of like a bridge between the gap of a hustler and someone who actually enjoyed fitness. I just figured out a way, you know? So basically, your question was, why do I only sell to women?
Yeah, that was my first question. Why do you only...
So obviously it started way before then, way before I got on Instagram. Now, what I decided to do is I had an Instagram page where I used to show like crazy workouts, like stuff that you don't need to do. Like, like a crazy ab workout off a Bosu ball, flipping backwards. Like I was that guy. Like, you know, I was one of those dudes. Yeah, it's still a lot of those guys. And this, oh yeah. Too. Oh, the other side,
yeah. So when this camera faces you,
okay, I got you.
It has
now,
like the
all of
perfect
that
shot.
is obviously BS.
Yeah.
You know that. But it gets clicks. And back then, it was purely about clicks. Now
Likes.
people will call you out for legit information, but I was obviously I was working at the gym. I was training all day. In our free time, me and my boy used to shoot crazy workouts. So I thought to myself, I need to get at least 10,000 followers. Like, it was all about the followers. I didn't sell anything yet. I was working at a gym as a personal trainer. And then I met this guy who had a page called Workout Routine. Now, he had 100,000. Back then, this was like 2012, if you had 100,000 followers, it's probably like 5 million today. Like, that was like a big deal.
You're doing something.
You're doing crazy.
Yeah.
And it was one of those pages where it wasn't really like a page with a personal person in front of it. He would just take the hottest videos on Instagram and condense them into one thing. So it was like just a page to go to, almost like a For You page.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes
Like,
sense.
you remember those pages, right? Yeah. It was basically like a For You page with the hottest workouts from Instagram. But then before Facebook bought Instagram, people used to use these platforms to sell shout outs. That's how you grew followers.
That's right. I remember the shout out days.
You have to give shout outs or whatever. Yeah. So I used to be like, yo, how much it cost for 3 hours to do a shout out? I give you a dope video.
Yeah.
And they'd be like,
and they would post a picture in the post.
Yeah.
Oh, click here to follow.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember those days.
So that was my play. Anyways, I kept buying shout outs from this guy. And I lived in D.C. at the moment. And he also lived in D.C. And I guess he figured out, yo, you live in D.C. So we linked up. And he basically was like, look, I'm trying to start selling fitness programs, XYZ. Long story short, we came together and we created another company. And we did this for like 6 years. Now, this company was for everybody. We had supplements. We sold weight loss, weight gain, build your glutes, fat loss, whatever. Men, women, everybody.
Yeah.
So I did that for about 6 years. Like, that was my thing. I didn't even personal train anymore. I quit personal training and went 100% online. And that's all I did. Now, that was not successful from the beginning. Like, I mean, that went through.
It sounds like a big.
It was a big company, bro. I don't think we did crazy numbers for what I make now, but back then, to me, it was good. Like,
nice.
You know, I was doing, for myself, from my personal share, I would take home like 20, 30K a month.
You said it was a supplement company mixed with other things.
It was a program company, and we sold supplements as well.
Okay.
So basically, it was just an online fitness company all through social media. And I was like the face of it. So me shooting videos at grocery stores, me doing workouts, basically doing anything to tell you, okay, you can get in shape using my program. Yeah. And then eventually, as it got popular, we added on supplements.
Do you think back in the day, people were more concerned about their health and their physique and their look compared to today?
Definitely more today.
More today. The awareness is there. Yeah.
I mean, you got to think, when I first started working out, you went to the gym, I saw the same 8 people, like literally. And if you saw those 8 dudes, they were all using the bench press. Squat rack was open. Nobody did squats. Nobody even understood anything about fitness because it just wasn't in front of your face.
Makes sense.
You know, so I graduated college in 2011. I became a trainer in 2012. And I remember when I first got my first certification, I was like, oh, you can make money helping people work out? Like, that was crazy.
It was new. Yeah.
I was like, what? That's a real job, bro. So when I got into it, I was going on Google trying to figure out what quadriceps were, what biceps were. Like, now you got so much free information that I think that just that awareness lets people know, okay, I can do this in the gym. I don't feel intimidated. So it's much better today, which is great. I love that.
Gotcha.
I love that everybody's pretty much in shape. Like, if you was a swole dude back then, you was like 1 out of 10. Now it's like every guy got some big biceps, bro. Maybe not legs, but
Man.
every dude is pretty much jacked. Like, walk around, like a lot of dudes are jacked now. Like, this is not how it used to be, bro.
So from there, that was around, you started that company and you did the company for 6 years.
6 years. I finished with that company in 2018. Now, how I got to only training women is basically the ups and downs of that company was hell, but it was also heaven at the same time. Because even though I was going through such a rough place in life, it taught me everything of what not to do.
Nice.
You understand? So when I started this company in 2019, it was like I've been doing everything wrong so long that all I know is to do the opposite of that. And one of the things I used to do is I had a theme every day of the week where, like, Monday I would do like Motivation Monday, where I would give like a motivational speech. Tuesday would be like Transformation Tuesday. I would show a bunch of different, and then
now
Wednesday,
I know the name's coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wednesday was Hump Day, so I would show a bunch of glute transformations. And only on Wednesday would I sell them.
On Wednesday, we wear pink. You remember those days?
Yeah, exactly.
I would see that.
So Wednesday was the day where I made money. You know, I was like, oh, snap. And on Wednesday, all the girls will buy, like, legit.
Yeah.
And then we got to a point where we had a big payroll. That was one of the, as you know, scaling the business is one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
You're making money on a small level is easy, but as soon as you try to get it bigger, is usually when you're running into
As soon as you
problems.
add, for me, it was as soon as I added employees.
Facts.
And as soon as I stopped being in control and depended on vendors for things. Because in the bodybuilding world, if you have a supplement company and your vendor for your product fails to deliver on this shipment and you've already pre-sold this shipment, what a fucking headache.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
of course. I got supplements. I understand how it works. It's crazy.
I had one of my friends, he owns a brand called Comfort. It's a hoodie, right?
Yeah.
That's made out of 5 different materials. Last year, he did $20 million in revenue selling a hoodie.
That's fire.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, have you ever thought about doing a pre-sale? And the pre-sale is essentially, you don't have any product, but you sell out in product and then you go get the product.
For sure.
And he's like, that's the dumbest thing ever.
It's a disaster. I did that before.
Because if the vendor that you're using fucks up the product, and you still haven't shipped anything out, and people are waiting on stuff, you get the chargebacks that fuck up your Shopify or whatever payment provider you're using. You get bad feedback from customers because they're not going to trust you based off the delivery time. Because now with Amazon, if you wake up before 10 a.m., you could get the product in your house by 5 p.m.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking quick.
Honestly, at this point, if your product isn't on Amazon, forget about it. Even if you sell direct to consumer, what happens is they'll see your product and be sold on your website and then go on Amazon to see if it's on Amazon and ship it from Amazon because they just trust Amazon.
Yeah.
So Amazon's
becoming, it is the middleman for everyone.
It is pretty much where it has to be. And I just got my newest product on Amazon, this protein. And,
you have your own supplement line?
Yeah, I have my own supplement line now. But so it's, like I told you, it's crazy. So, but
tell me about that.
So,
yeah.
All right, so
I never even knew you had your own product line.
I'm working on it. Well, we just finalized the website. I actually sold 50% of it to a marketing company because for me, the supplement space is just not enough profit margin. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like it's good for a customer to have the tangible product, which gives your company more value. But I don't feel like from what I've done and what I've seen and the numbers I make, it's just not really worth my time to invest so much time into it. It's a good additional product.
Yeah.
But, for me, I have an application. I sell a program online, internationally, anywhere in the world. So, my day starts with $2K just there.
Yeah.
Just all profit. Like, literally a digital download. So For me to go into supplements, it's like the profit margins are just a little low, and then you're also in a competitive space where you know, people are selling for pretty cheap prices, and you're not going to get to a profitable space until you get such a large order. You understand?
Yeah.
So anyways, back to what I was saying is I was with this company. Now, we tried to scale it, and we had such a large payroll, and me as an owner, there were months that I just literally took home nothing. Like, I mean, months and months and months. Luckily, I had stacked up enough money to live off of, but eventually that ran dry. So imagine I was going from making, you know, 30, 40K for a good 3-4 years. And, you know, when you're an entrepreneur making that kind of money, you start to get the idea that you're up from this point. You know, like it's always going to go up.
Yeah.
Now, in my life, I've had 3 so far ups and 3 so far downs. So I've grown also the ability to understand that even no matter how up you are, you can go down. So now I'm just like such a big investor and putting my money into assets and other things where it's like the PTSD I have from those situations I've been in, I'll never let myself get back to that, you know? So at this point, I'm doing well. Now, the business crashed. It just completely crashed. I mean, we went from doing well to just doing terrible, and mainly because we did sales all the time. That's one thing I've learned. Sales are terrible. They're terrible for you. They kill your brand. They kill...
Because people are just going to expect them.
They expect a sale, and it just kills your value. Gucci never has a sale. Louis Vuitton never has a sale. Like, it never happens. So I do them still every now and then, but I do them so seldomly that it doesn't really hurt myself.
On very like specific days out of the year.
Actually, you know what? I found a secret. Do it on a random day. You sell more than that. Because if you do it on a Mother's Day or another holiday that everybody expects, what happens is you have competitors. Everybody's
that everyone's doing it the same day. Yeah. Damn, you're so right about that.
Do a flash day on a random Thursday. Yeah. And I guarantee I did it one day out of desperation because I had bought this watch. I spent like $50K on this watch and I felt bad about it.
What watch was it?
It was a Rollie. It was actually this one. You know what I mean?
So, that's a presidential.
Presidential, yeah.
Nice.
So this one actually was like around 40. But I'm working on my next one. I know you probably got a bunch of watches, don't you?
I have a G-Shock.
Yeah, G-Shock. All right, cool. I don't know. You strike me as the dude that probably got the closet full of like 5, 6 different watches.
I have I don't really talk about watches, but my favorite watch, which I own, I've never wear it. I'm only gonna wear it the day I get married, like very special events.
That's what's up.
It's a platinum date presidential with a sky blue face. It's extremely rare.
That's fine.
I got it last year. Was it? Yeah, last year I got the watch.
That's what's up.
And then a week after I got that watch, I got my first Richard Mille ever.
Nice.
And then
I was about to say, I could have swore I saw you with a Richard Mille.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you ain't even wearing a G-Shock all the time.
Yeah.
I've seen little hints in there.
So I bought a G-Shock, and this is the first time he sees the G-Shock. We sit in the car because we're going to go grab some lunch, and he's like, I love how you're wearing a G-Shock. No, it was at the gas station. He's like, I love how you're wearing a G-Shock. I'm like, why? He's like, because you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you wear what you like. You don't give a fuck about other people's opinion. Dope. And then he said the same thing about the music I was hearing. I was hearing Suicide Boys. I haven't heard them in forever, but he's like, bro, you listen to things that nobody else listens to. I tend to...
It's pretty awesome, and not to cut your knowledge, but it's pretty awesome to find someone successful that still remains themselves. And the world is constantly trying to change you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
Me personally, I have always been into watches. I never could afford a watch. Honestly, I remember I was hanging out with this guy. You know, I was a trainer. I was making $19 an hour, like, you know, and he likes me. So he's like, he'll come out with me, but he stunted on me so much. And I remember I had what's that watch that kind of looks like a Rollie? A lot of people get it. It's, damn, it's not clicking for me right now. It's going to come to me. It's slipping my mind. I'm mad I can't think about it.
Omega?
Nah, they sell it at like Nordstrom's or whatever.
Michael Kors.
Michael Kors.
Michael
Kors has a band that kind of looks like a Rolex band. So
I know that one. You know that I know that one because I've been there. Yeah.
So I had the Michael Kors, right? And we was at this pool party, and I'm with a bunch of dudes with money, right? But I'm broke, but I'm with them.
Yeah.
And one of the
Are you in better shape than them?
Of course. Yeah,
then
that's all I had.
Yeah.
I mean, these dudes talking about how big their boats are they just, you know, seeing whose dick is bigger pretty much the whole time. I'm just sitting there like listening like, yo, these guys are crazy. So this dude, I don't know if this was a genuine compliment or if he was trying to stunt on me, but the way he said it was very genuine.
Yeah.
He was, oh man, I love that watch, man. I just got my girl the same one. I was just like, Damn,
I don't know how I would take it.
Yeah, I don't know how to take it.
I
It's
don't
kind of
know,
like, yo.
Does he really like it? I mean, he got his girl.
He really
yeah.
liked it because he really bought it for his girl. But, meanwhile, they roll it out and stuff like that. So I'm just like, all right, man, so.
Sometimes they don't even fucking know what they're wearing. They just buy it because somebody says to buy it.
Most people that have nice watches, when I ask them, what's the name of your watch? I know the name of their watch because I know my watches. They have no idea.
That's funny.
They can't even tell me the reference number to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Yeah, they just buy it because they're supposed to buy it. Yeah,
most people buy a watch because it's something that when you get...
Status symbol.
Exactly. I was about to say, it's something that when you get to a certain level, your friends around you or the new friends you meet that are at that level are going to tell you, you need a watch next.
For sure.
Or you need this car next.
I got to be honest, that pretty much happened to me, but... After then I got a Movado, which I was super proud about too. Like Movado was like, okay, I got $1,000 watch now. I went from $250 to $1,000, So when I came to Miami, I lived in Cali before I lived in Miami. Now when I lived in
part in California?
I was in Southern California.
Southern, okay.
And Anaheim specifically. So
Anaheim.
Are you familiar?
Yeah, right by the Disney.
Yeah, right by Disney.
You know where the Honda Center is?
Of course.
I used to live right next to the Honda Center.
That's literally where I live, right off Catella Avenue.
Yeah, there in Catella, where the Starbucks was and the movie theater.
That's so crazy, bro.
And there's a restaurant called Sauce.
Yes, that's literally where I lived at.
I lived right there. It's called the Garrison.
Yeah, okay. I can't think of the one I lived in. It's been so...
The one I lived in was fairly new.
Flats. I don't remember. I lived in so many apartments, so I can't remember half the names at this point. But right off Catella Avenue. That's where I lived.
Bro, so I love that area. It was very calm.
Area. Yeah. It's a beautiful area, man. But for some reason, when you say Anaheim to people, they have a bad rep for whenever. They think it's like the hood. And
it's a nice area.
I'm like, yo, this was a nice area. It's very peaceful. It was, close enough to LA, but far enough where I didn't feel like I was in the craziness.
Traffic,
But when I was living there, I still was doing what I do now. So I didn't really have to leave anywhere.
Nice.
But anyways, when I left there and I moved to Miami, of course, Miami is like the city of stunting next to Atlanta. Atlanta and Miami are just the most... Bro, Atlanta's on another wave. Like, you can have $5 in your account and some dude got a Bentley with everything and he don't got no money, but he got...
On my previous...
He's scamming for sure.
So sorry to cut you off, but check this out. On my previous podcast, I was telling the guest, Sai, I'm like, hey, man, there's people here in Miami that have the nice car, have the nice crib, have the nice Instagram, but when I tell them, hey, look into this project if you want to invest into it or if you want to share it, they give me every excuse not to invest in it, and it's nothing that has to do with research and development. What it has to do is them avoiding the investment because they don't have the money.
They never have the cash. I actually got played by somebody like that. Like, legit played. That same situation. Dude had a Range Rover, a nice house. He was a father like me. I'll take everybody at face value. Me personally, I'm a real individual. I don't make stuff up. I don't feel like I have to do that.
Exactly.
Maybe because I've been through enough in life where I don't feel the need to impress people. But I feel like here people still do that.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand that when I first got here. Now, when I was in California, I was like a monk. I was work mode, family, daughter, work. That was it. Like, I didn't do nothing else. And I felt like after 2 years, I wanted to spread my wings. I didn't want to live like that anymore. So I started going out a little bit, like thinking I'm going to meet nice people, wanted to meet friends. And I met a guy exactly like what you described. We got into this business investment. And come to find out, once I met the other investors, they saw me. They were like, yo, that guy Rave is a real dude. Like, he's a good guy. Yeah. They was like, he's trying to play you. He doesn't have no money. Like, he's increasing the size of the investment because he wants you to cover his portion. Like, and then I realized.
What was the investment for?
It was for the, no, it was the sushi sake, what I'm doing now.
Oh, shit.
God works in mysterious ways, bro.
Damn, that's crazy.
You know what's funny is I actually met some really good people through him. So that's why I always think that everything that we consider is something bad, negative happening to us is a blessing in disguise. But if you just keep the faith through that, you're going to see that.
A burden with a blessing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I ended up having some beautiful relationships through that. And now I'm doing a sushi sake in Naples with the guy I actually met at the investor meeting who's like, he's like my brother from another.
So the sushi sake you're doing is in Naples?
It's in Naples. Okay. There's so many sushi sakes right now in South Miami that now you have franchisees competing with other franchisees. So that's one of the issues. And we wanted to go to an area where was pretty much nothing. And the brand awareness is crazy. I mean, right now we just have plasters over the wall saying sushi sake coming in. And coming soon, and everybody's hitting us up like, when you guys opening? Da, da, da.
That's
like,
fucking great.
it's going to be a great investment. And what I love about it is going to require no time for me personally. I mean, obviously I'm going to go there and I'm going to be a part of understanding like how
Operations,
operations and everything. But I'm pretty much just an investor, man. I'm keeping my foot on what I do best. And what I do best is this fitness thing.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
So man, I have now so many questions about
I
that.
know we got a lot to talk about.
Yo.
Bro. That's what I'm telling
So-
you. Oh, so where were we
Yeah.
at? We were at me moving from California to South
You
Miami.
moved here to Miami?
Oh no. What doing the sales on a Thursday on a random day.
Yeah, on a random
day. So how I got into the thing with women. So basically I was doing this thing.
We're still on this topic, but we have went into 5 different ones.
I rock with you though.
Yo.
I rock with you. When's your birthday?
July 24th, Leo.
Leo. I had a feeling you was a Leo, bro. I'm not
Yo.
even lying. I promise. I'm not lying. I was going to say Leo before you said it, but I'm an
Yo.
Aquarius. But for whatever reason,
January?
January
That's what my
22nd.
girlfriend is. Aquarius. January 20th.
No homo. I understand. Like weather, you know. I rock with that. No, but the way you pulled up on me at the gym, I could tell you was real. Because a lot of guys have this ego where they see somebody who they maybe think is successful, they feel the need to want to compete with them, or feel like, I could tell that you were at a very humble place in your life where you have and you see someone else and you're happy for them.
Yeah.
That's what I felt. He was like, yo, I like your car, da da da, even though you're in a nice car. And it was like, yo, that's what's up, man.
I
That's what's
still
up.
do to this day.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Man, one of the most motivating things that I ever learned to actually transform my mindset was DJ Khaled. And this is a part of my growth till this day. And he said that whenever you see somebody who's doing really well, the worst thing you can do is be jealous of that person. Because
Absolutely.
all that is a sign that it's possible for you. If you see somebody doing great, that means that you can do it. Literally, that's a sign from God that you can do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
They're a human. They breathe the same air as you. Just put in the work. And when I thought about that, every time I would see somebody successful, I'd be so happy for them because it was like a recognition that I'm going to have that too one day. And that irreversibly changed my life. Just that mindset alone. So when you pulled up on me like that, I thought the same thing about you. I was like, yo, I like that dude, bro. So when we connected on the Instagram, I always knew.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't even know how I found your Instagram. I think you popped on. You know what's crazy about Instagram?
Yeah.
I was here with Hudson. He's the owner of Comfort, right? Mm-hmm. The very next day after he leaves my podcast, right, I get 5 ads from Comfort. And I'm like, what?
Oh, they listen to your phone for
fuck?
Now they have the settings to turn it off if you want to.
Yeah,
to your phone
now
for sure.
if we go on Instagram and we go to the explore page or the stories, you'll see a Comfort ad. I'm like, it's crazy.
They listen in like none other than like.
So when I met you, I think like a week later, you popped on my explore page. I'm like, I don't even follow fitness people. Like,
that's wild.
The only 3 fitness people that I know that go to that UFC gym is you, my friend named Roy,
I'm not sure I know him, but
and then someone who is a bodybuilder and he has like a seasoning company, JB something.
JB Bailey.
Yeah. He has a seasoning
for
company.
A long time. I actually know him. He's a good guy.
Only 3 people I know.
Yeah. I like him as well. But that's what I thought about when I first met you. But man, basically I transitioned in just to wrap it up into the women's things because when I was doing that company, Wednesdays was our hottest day. Women only sold. Now when we did sales, we did our sales point at a $50. For whatever reason, that $50 price point clicked with people. So in my mind, what I said to myself is I said, I want to come out with something for a price point that people feel is fair and they're going to pay for it, but also gives them more value than what they're paying for. I wanted everybody to download my app and be like, oh my God, I only paid $50 for this. And that's exactly what happened. I had no real idea that it would be what it is today. I didn't go into it with that. Honestly, I took everything as worst case scenario. That's how I look at all my companies when I first start out. So I said, obviously I was flat broke. And to remind you, when the business crashed, I also found out my girl was pregnant. The world was crashing in on me, bro. Like it was bad. So I was living in this high rise and was it the loft? It was literally the top floor of this building, living like a boss, like a king, like, you know, I had an Audi S5 at the minute. Like to me, that was a crazy car. Like I think it was 24. For 24, I felt like I was doing well for myself, And remind you that I didn't come from nothing. Like even till this day, like I'm the only person in my family that really found real wealth. Yeah. Like legitly. So for me, that was great. Now, all of that crashed on me hard for like 2 years, like it was a hard crash. I went so far back that I ended up having to move in with my mom and my pregnant girlfriend. I left the house when I was 18. I'm now 24, pushing 25, living back with my parents. Like, that was crazy. Now, what happened for me is I saw this video from Gary Vaynerchuk. And if I ever meet him, I just want to just tell him, like, thank you, bro.
Yeah, I know Gary. I've seen a lot of his videos.
But this video just changed my life. And the video basically said that people are hindering themselves from success because they're afraid to take 2 steps back to get 10 steps ahead based off the idea of what other people would think about them. They're scared of people who don't even know them and their criticism and their judgment. Literally. And I was like, that's me. So I was like, man, fuck this high rise, all of this. I ended up moving back in with my parents, with my mom actually, with my pregnant girl, you know, and just said, we're going to make this work. Now, obviously, I had a business plan. I didn't just move in them with no plan, but I was able to stack up crazy bread because I built this app, and that got going with the whole idea I told you about, making it women's based, because I seen from my past business that women primarily buy. I focused on, obviously, my education to make sure I knew what I was talking about, self-educating myself even more in the space. Obviously a very affordable thing, so everybody will buy it. It's not a $200 program. It's not a $300 program. I understand that a lot of fitness people go for the high ticket price because they think they have to get less people. I go for more volume, and I go for volume. That's my whole thing. And it worked for me, but it also capped for me. So I did well, and I moved to California. And around this time, I was doing maybe like 70, 80K a month. So I was up, but since I had made like 30, 40 consistently, I didn't think that I was doing crazy numbers. It was just still okay for me. Now, what happened is, going back to that whole DJ Khaled thing, is there's a guy who was stunting. He was stunting hard on TikTok.
The watch guy.
No,
not
he was
him.
a fitness guy, just like me. But he made like a page trying to promote people of how you can, basically a money man. He was trying to make like one of those money TikTok pages, like how you should invest your money. And one day he showed all his earnings from each month. And it was crazy numbers, bro. It was like 300, 400, 600, 1 mil, 2 mil. I'm like, he's making that monthly? He does the same thing as me. Like, it was mind blowing. And then he basically said that he's spending 70, 80K, 100K in ads. And at this time, I was only spending like 20, 30K in ads because I was scared. I was just like, I'm not going to spend that. So you know what? I took that same idea. I was like, if he's doing it, I'm like, bro, that's rapper money. Like, I was like, you don't got to be a rapper. You don't got to be a ball player to make those kind of figures. Like, that opened my mind up because my thinking was too low. I wasn't thinking big enough. So literally that month, I was like, all right, I'm doubling down. 70K, I put in like literally almost everything I had right into ads. That same month, I made like 300. Next month, 300, 350, 400. Then it was just
power
like,
of ads.
Bomb, 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 bomb. And I was like,
and time is flying by.
And time is flying by, and I'm living in an apartment too. So like, a funny thing is that people like to, it's weird how people do this, is when they don't think you're doing well, they support you so much. And the minute that they see you doing extremely well, it's almost like they don't like you no more. When I was living in that apartment, I was killing it, bro, because it's so weird. It's weird. I was killing it. And now I think people feel a little, and like, you know, they see my house, the cars. I don't really stunt like that on the gram, but I think some people know. They can just tell, and it's like less support. But at the same time, I think that I've educated myself so much to give people so much value, because I really am a real trainer. Even though I do e-commerce, and that's pretty much how I make my money, I'm a trainer. So I built a gym in my garage, and I train every girl completely for free. And the exchange is that I'll get you in shape, and I also get content out of it. Because if you were to pay me for a session and I try to record a video, you may be like, yo, I don't want to be on your page. This is my session. Nah, this is
facts.
It's an ecosystem. You feel what I'm saying? I work in my house. I go in the garage. I train you, and I really love to do it. I get you in shape. I get content out of it.
You've had crazy transformations.
Because I'm really that guy when it comes to this, because I also have a degree in exercise science. So I found a way to make my degree actually work for me. Most people, my degree, they ended up like doing real estate, or they switched it up so many times. Like, I just found my space. And that was also for me working in the gym. Like I was telling him, I was working in the gym, and I'm not a reinvent the wheel guy. I'll be honest with you. I'm a copycat. Like, if you do, I take the model and I'm doing exactly what Lewis did. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not switching up nothing. So when I was working at this gym, they were selling personal training like crazy. And I went to school at VCU. It's in Richmond, Virginia. It's a place where if you don't go to school there, it's really not much money in that market. Like, people don't have money for personal training. But I moved to DC where people have a lot of money in DC. So I started, training there, and people were buying personal training left and right. I couldn't understand how everybody could afford this. Mm-hmm. So what I did is I went kind of like under the cover, and I went to the front desk, and I like started asking them, because basically what they did is they sold personal training at the front desk, and then they put the clients in your schedule. So you didn't actually have to sell the training. You just had to keep the client. They would just put it in your schedule. But me as a salesperson, I was like, look, I want to understand what they're doing. So I literally took their entire contract. I learned it. I watched the way that they literally sold it to clients. And I found a private gym down the street, and I went directly there, and I was like, I'm going to do this on my own. And eventually I got fired from that gym. I wasn't really prepared. To be honest with you, I was like slowly conversing over. Like, I would take a client, 2 clients, 3 clients, because I still had to pay my rent. I was just a trainer. I didn't really have money like that. So eventually they found out and they fired me, which again was another blessing in disguise. I was kind of like, damn, what am I going to do? I really didn't know what to do, because I didn't have that many clients to really pay my rent and all of that, and pay, for my car note and all that kind of stuff. So I end up, and I only
those
had
moments are funny when you look back at them.
Yeah, it's like, so I went to the bank and I got a loan for like $3,000. It was like a personal loan for $3,000. And I remember thinking to myself, if I don't make this work, not only am I flat broke, can't pay my rent, can't pay the rent for this place that I'm like renting to train my clients, but I'm also going to owe the bank $3,000 that I can't pay. It was a bad situation. So I just balls to the wall, put my face down, I text everybody and their mama. Like, literally, they didn't even have to live in the state. I'd be like, hey, I'm personal training. Like, at the end of that month, I ended up making like $10,000. And that was my first time seeing like a comma in my account. Like, I used to having no money. So I'm like, oh shit, this works, bro. Like,
I like that. Yo, fuck. Now you remind me the first time I saw a comma on my account. So the first time I saw one, I was working at Amazon. Okay. And the comma, it was just 4 figures. But then I saw my biggest commas when I saw 2 commas.
2 commas.
I was like, holy fuck. And then when I saw 3 commas for a business of mine, I was like, what the fuck? That's revenue, not profit. Not profit. Seeing the commas, it hits different.
It hits different.
Yeah.
And honestly, it just gives you such self-confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just lets you know that following your intuition and you're believing in yourself is powerful, man.
100%.
It's powerful. And then you understand, like betting on yourself. And every time I've lost money, since I've made money, obviously you think, okay, let me put money into this. I lost money with everything that I didn't do betting on myself. And I just realized now, bro, you can tell me I make $1 million tomorrow doing something, like, go do it, bro. Good for you.
Yeah. You just want to bet on yourself.
I bet on myself. That's the only thing I believe in at this point. Like, anything outside of that, I'm just kind of like, I'm good with that, bro.
Gotcha. So with that, what decided to get you into the restaurant business with Sushi Sake? And do you want to cover that? Because let's go into
it. Cool. I'm whatever. To be honest with you, my business right now is just self-employment. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I have employees, obviously, because it's a big company and I need help with everything, with the customer service, with the apps and all that kind of stuff. But if I don't get up and work every day, those numbers don't come in. Like, facts. So it's just self-employment. I eventually want to build something that I don't have to be a part of on the daily basis. Obviously, I have to oversee operations, and Sushi Sake, to me, I love the brand because they're not like a company where you can just come in and say, hi, I want one. The owner is successful because he is a very specific, detail-oriented guy who doesn't do business with just anybody. And because of that friend that I told you I met who was scamming me, I met a guy who was secondhand to him and used to work underneath him. So imagine a Starbucks, and every Starbucks you go to is ran the exact same way. And there's a specific guy who works for Starbucks who goes to the Starbucks to make sure that they're good, and then he goes to another one. That's my partner. So he wanted to give him the opportunity to open his own restaurant. And we met at this meeting because there were 4 investors.
Yeah. How recent ago was this?
With the new, that was almost 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. So it's been 2 years.
2 years since I met my current partner.
Yeah.
But then, I told him, let's do a sushi sake, let's do this, let's do that. And he was like, yeah, man, we just got to find a location. So, you know, that was a hard part, finding a legit location. And once we found a location, I pretty much was like, all right, I'm going to run it up. I know you don't have the bread, but I trust you 100%. I'll invest in everything. And once I get my money back, we'll go 50-50. So it's basically a blessing to be able to put somebody else also in a position to make some pretty good money.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be our first location. We're going to do plenty. We're going to do like 2, 3, 4. So that's kind of like,
What is the startup cost?
depending on the location, it can range between $450 to $550.
That's crazy because I had this butcher shop, right? So I buy all my meats from Josh's Premium Meats.
Okay.
So then there's a butcher shop in California. I'm not going to name them.
Okay.
All right. But they are opening up locations everywhere. Everywhere. So then I'm like, they don't have a single one in Miami. And in Miami, where is there a butcher besides Josh's Premium Meats?
I don't know of any butcher. To be honest with you.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't they open up one here, right? If we find the correct location, correct building, you get me?
Yeah.
And I hit up the Instagram page, and then I'm like, hey, connect me to the owner. What do you need to speak to the owner for? I'm like, fuck you. Like, I got pissed immediately. So then I went through every single post, and I found who the owner was in one of the posts. It took me like quite a minute in scrolling. Found who the owner is, contacted him directly, called him on the Instagram thing. We spoke for about 5 minutes. I'm like, hey, man, how much is it to open up a location of yours? And he told me $500K.
It's not a bad price.
And then I'm like, for a butcher shop?
Are they walking in and sitting down?
No.
Oh, yeah.
A butcher shop just means you walk in, you grab the meat, and you walk out.
I don't know the operation, but it could depend on the equipment that they need and a lot of.
I was shocked because I was just shocked. Like,
I mean, it just depends on the P&L.
And
like, you know,
and this reminded me because that same week I spoke to you, and you told me that you were starting the sushi sake for X amount. Don't want to disclose that.
Yeah.
So when they told me $500K, I'm like, is this guy scamming me? Like,
he might have embellished a little bit. It's also risky to me if you don't have a personal relationship with people you go in business with. Like when I do
100%.
business, I like to do, it's like a relationship. I've had many partners and a lot of them have fallen off. And every single person that I have a long-term relationship with, I also know the value of them as a person. Like I understand where their core values are. When things are hitting the fan, how they respond.
Cool.
That's really who you're doing business with. Otherwise, you could have a great idea and it could go to shit because you just don't have a good business partner. But when you're in with somebody that you trust and you understand who they are as a person, you can turn water to wine.
Yeah.
Simple as that, just off the energy that you two can create. So now it's all about family. Like literally everybody I work with, I have been cool with since college or even before then. Like my sister's my assistant. Like I hire people who I'm really
close to. Yeah.
Really, really
Where
close
did
to.
you meet? Like, here's a good question. Where did you meet your best business partner? Someone who's been with you through majority of the things and is still with you today.
Well, that would be my girl. That would be my girl. Definitely her for sure. You know, we share a beautiful daughter together.
Yeah.
And I would say because I met her actually in the transition of starting from that company I told you. I don't want to name this company because.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So anyways, that was like 2016 and she found me on Instagram and was basically like, hey, I want to train with you. That's like usually girls end if they have. I can always tell if it's legit or if it's like, oh, you're just trying to make a play. But that's how we started, you know. And funny thing is, I actually hired her. That was my flex because she needed help, and I hired her. I was like, well, I got a job for you, so I had her working for me. And you know, we built a relationship from then. And she saw the inner workings of what was going on and said, yo, you need to do this on your own. And she put that battery in my back and gave me the confidence to really do it on my own, because I was always scared, man, because I found success with a group of people and I didn't think that I could do that on my own for whatever reason, you know. And I also had a lot.
Damn, that sounds like a lot of what like I'm going through.
Yeah. It was,
like right now I'm
really?
going through.
Well, I can tell you one thing from my experience. Every leap of faith I ever took, when I just jumped out the window, I've always landed on my 2 feet and even better. Period.
Yeah.
From the transition when I was training at that gym that I told you I started, that little personal training gym, this same guy that I got in business with, he was like, look, man, stop personal training. You're wasting time. We can do more. And, you know, I had loyal clients. I had clients paying me every month for like 3-4 years. I already knew they were just considering me their trainer for life. So this is a guaranteed, like, you know, between 7 to 10K a month, and I'm getting. And I didn't want to just throw it out
the window. Yeah.
And I did, like, you know, and, you know, then I started leveling up. And then after she helped me give the confidence in myself to leave those people who I was doing business with and doing on my own, sky was the limit, like, you know, and, you know, now we got each other's back. And honestly, it's somebody that I know I can trust no matter what. Like, you know, I know everything is Gucci. So I can say that that's definitely one of my most solid business partners for sure. Like, it's crazy, man. You know, on Instagram, you hear all these men and women wars, bro. That's just so corny to me, dog. Like, I don't know if it's just a thing people do, but I feel like men need women, women need men, period. Like, we need each other.
The whole conversation about masculinity, feminism.
Yeah.
You have a lot of these men that are talking about this. I could instantly see that they have never had success.
For sure.
They have never had a woman treat them correctly because they don't know how to treat one.
Yeah.
And then they sit here on the Instagram and talk about what a man needs to have for clicks and views.
It's so crazy. Every time I read those comments, I can tell the dude is broke.
Yeah.
And I feel like
and
I'm not, look.
And they're copying. Here's who they're copying. Andrew Tate came in, talked about, I've noticed before Andrew Tate, I never saw that. Then right after him, I saw every, you know, wannabe try to be like him.
Yeah.
I've been invited to some podcasts where, you know, people just bash on women. Like they invite, these girls are, you know, these girls are retarded, right? Every girl that's been on one of these podcasts does not, their brain is not there, but they go on these podcasts. They know what's going to happen. They still go on. And all you have is like 2-3 guys bashing them saying, what qualities do you have if you're on OnlyFans? And it's like,
to me, my whole thing about all of it is I feel like it's very basic. I feel like femininity is to be protected and masculinity is to be respected. Simple as that. Like a woman in her true nature, to me, I respect it if you want to. If you want to go out there and build businesses and grind, I'm all with that. I think that's fire. If I'm with a girl and she's making more money than me, I'm cool with it. Like,
I don't mind being lit. Like, I don't mind getting sugar poured on me.
That's the vibe, bro. Like, I feel like that's the vibe. That's motivation for me.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm just a confident man, so it doesn't do. I don't care about that. But I feel like if you don't have that confidence, then you're insecure as a person, then ultimately, of course, you're going to see that as an issue. But that's ultimately an issue within yourself, like straight up. Like that has nothing to do with her. But my point is that if a woman does that, I don't think it's in her organic nature to have to do that. I believe that we are here to provide for them and to allow them to be in their true feminine nature. And that's when we get the best versions of them. But these guys, bro, like they just feel like me and you, I feel like we're one and the same. Like I think it's crazy to go out with a girl and they have to split the bill. Like that's wild. Like,
bro. So this happened. 2 things I want to cover. One is, let's say my girl, if she were to make more than me, I'll fucking love it.
Yeah.
More cars. Like I'll like it. Like I wouldn't mind. And here's what I hate. Most men, they use that sense to have some type of story to talk about, where it's like, as men, you should be making more than women, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's stupid to always talk about finances or money. Like, there is women out there that are making more than men, and there's men out there making more than women. Dude, everyone has a different perfection. For sure. You get me? Like, absolutely. A surgeon, right, who's a man, will make more than a nurse. But then a surgeon who's a woman will make more than a doctor.
For sure. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I also think that a lot of women, like, they get labeled as gold diggers. But I don't think it's a gold digging thing. I think it's just like, I'm not going to deal with the guy who has financial issues because that comes with other problems that won't allow us to really evolve in our relationship. I think it's more than that. It's just kind of like, all right, this is like the level of guy that I want to talk to. I don't want him for his money. I just want to make sure that he has himself in a good position because ultimately that's attractive to a woman. Like, simple as that. Like, I don't think it's really a gold digging thing because at the end of the day, if you are an established man and a woman sees you as somebody who can provide for her, she feels safe with you. And ultimately, women just want to feel safe. And that's not always just financially. That just could be with the way you treat them. That could be you being faithful to them. They just want to feel safe. And we live in a world where things cost money,
Yeah.
so that is a level of safety that they organically need to feel. Because I think that obviously there's promiscuous women, there's promiscuous men, there's good women, there's bad men.
I have a good question for you now.
All right, go ahead.
Go. So here's the question. We spoke about this in the previous podcast. What would you say to a guy, right, who is so delusional that sees a girl in a Rolls Royce, nice lifestyle on Instagram, and doesn't feel worthy of reaching out because he does not have the same lifestyle?
Damn, that's a stumper.
Because think about how many men look at all these girls on Instagram. They're faithful men. You
Yeah.
get me? And instantly they're attracted to these girls because of how they look. Obviously, for a guy to make a move or for a girl to make a move over social media,
Yeah.
it has to be based off looks.
For sure.
You get me? Or sometimes based on content. Like you could relate to someone and you could reach out, but mainly it's based off looks.
Yeah.
So for a guy who is middle class, right,
Yeah.
to reach out to a girl who looks like she's rich class or high class,
Yeah.
what would you say to that guy?
Don't do it. I mean, let's be real. Like, if she's flexing the Royce, like, come on, that says something. Like, she's probably not gonna respond to your DM, bro. Like, let's be real. Like, it's just.
And
like,
if she does, what do you say from there?
Yeah, if she,
Fuck.
if she does, I mean, I'm not really one of those guys that spits game. I'm just like, I just be myself. Like, that's always been my thing. Is
I don't know what game is.
I don't know what game is.
Me neither.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how to pick up lines.
I don't have any of that corny shit.
Yeah, like, I don't know what that. I don't know
Man.
what that is. But and also, I'm not really a fan of like sliding in the DMs. I feel like I like real life. Like, like anybody that I've ever met, I like to have a real life experience with them because I don't like to judge you off these preface things because I don't really care about them things. Like, to be honest with you, I don't care how pretty your face is, how big your butt is, all of that kind of stuff.
Everything could be adjusted nowadays.
Exactly. And to me,
It's like a mechanic shop.
It's facts. It's facts. That doesn't say to me what I.
It's like a mechanic.
Yeah.
You go in there, and the surgeon with the wrench
Yeah,
he
yeah.
adjusts you real quick.
And I'm not really trying to pass judgment on any of those type of women, but I can honestly say for me, for me, it's just not really like I think also living here in Miami, you see so much of it that you just start to become like
Him,
desensitized.
we were
to it.
driving. I don't know where we were driving by, but he's like, "Bro, look at that ugly ass fake ass." And then I look at him like, "Bro,
That was a
People
shock
wanna-
value. That
Huh?
was a shock value to me. When I first came here, I couldn't believe how many BBLs there was going on. Like, and it was, and then because me, I'm a deep thinker, so I conceptualize. I was like, okay, this is the Louis bag for women, because it's not really. I'm trying to hide it. It's like, oh, I can afford it. Or
a
I
Louis
really got
bag is
one.
the same as the BBL nowadays."
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
this
it's
is
kind
the
of like
Louis bag.
showing it off that, oh yeah, I got my butt done. So it's more like one of those things. And more power to you. Anything
Yeah.
you do to make yourself feel better, whatever. I just think that if you're gonna do it, just have it look at least like,
Real.
comparable to your body. Like, if you
Yeah.
got a big butt and you got no hamstrings and no quads, it
It looks stupid.
yeah, you look kind of like an ant a little bit.
There we go.
Just
So,
like-
so
it's
when
a
I
weird look,
when,
like you
when I
got a
go out with
diaper on
my
or
girl,
something.
when I go out with my girl has a lot of self confidence. So if I look at another girl's butt, I'm like, look at that ant, and we'll make fun of it together.
Yeah. Again, like I got to be real. Like I feel like I got friends with BBLs and all that kind of stuff, and I know that they did it because they were insecure about their body. So the way I see it is, if you feel great about it, love it. Like go out there, stun on it, do whatever you got to do with it. And for me personally, I just feel like I'm not into it, but at the end of the day, if you like it, I love it. Whatever you like
Yeah.
to do, that's for you.
Do you train any girls that have BBLs, and do they see any type of results?
I don't personally, and I'm not against it. It's just
Yeah.
not what I promote. It's not good for my brand either.
Because
I'm
your brand's about growing organically.
So people
Yeah.
are always looking for a flaw in my system. I'm like the type of guy, they're just looking for me to mess up in some type of way.
I saw in one of the comments, I saw before and after of some girl.
And they was like,
I
"You got a
saw
BBL?"
people saying BBL. So then,
That's a compliment.
yeah.
I think that's an amazing compliment.
and here's the funny thing: the girl's skinny.
Yeah.
Where is she getting the fat from for the BBL? Like,
Nowadays, if you grow any type of
Nowadays, he's the mechanic.
he's the mechanic. Yeah,
if you grow any muscle as a woman, they just gonna label you as a BBL. But I always tell women, yo, that's a compliment.
it's a compliment.
Like, if I'm walking around and,
Like
dude,
they tell guys on steroids, but
Yeah, if you're not, then it's like, yeah, that's what's up, bro. You think I'm on gear? Like, that's what's up, you know? It is really exactly the same thing. So,
Like you, like 6 months ago. Bro, 6 months ago, this guy
If I get
was...
on my shit for 2 months straight, I change.
Bro, I
I can
swear.
tell, though. I can always tell people who
No,
have like
this
a
guy...
But when I don't, if I mess up 5%,
Yeah.
then when I did it, he always told me like, you take he's like shredded.
Yeah.
Bro, he
Some
got
people
stupid
just have
shredded.
it. I used to have a boy in college, and this dude had like the Ninja Turtle abs, bro. Like, I mean, like them.
Yeah, I know.
And he didn't eat healthy, no nothing. Like, he didn't even know about nutrition. Like, he didn't even understand
Lucky.
macronutrients, no
Lucky
nothing.
guy.
And I was like, yo, bro, like, this is not even fair. Like, but you just come out the womb, like, lifting weights. Yeah, it's like crazy,
For me,
dog.
the body part for me that's hardest to achieve is the fucking abs.
Yeah, it's...
And
I'm not even
it-
into abs, to be honest.
It's
Like,
it's
I don't-
always it's my nutrition that fucks it up because
Yeah.
Not just the nutrition, your gut health has to be good too.
really never knew that.
Health is a big thing. I'm learning about that right now too. I never understood
gut-
how important like
Just your,
the gut bacteria, all the stuff that we eat, and the amount
How
of
does
toxins
it
in
affect your abs?
bro, because you get bloated.
Oh, below. Okay.
Because you build more just in general. Bodybuilders, their gut health has to be on point. Now they can't.
Yeah, I hate though the bodybuilders that have like a stomach and then abs on top.
That's what it is. 'Cause they eat so much.
Well, I think that's also from uses of steroids too. It's,
Yeah.
it's a growth hormone. I think that
Growth hormones, bro.
yeah.
Growth hormone.
It's growth hormone that does that.
Fingers.
Yeah, man. When you start playing with that stuff, bro, to me that's their lifestyle and it's also their job. But like growth hormone and all of that, that's like too far, dog. Like, you know.
Do you consider trend too far?
Definitely. Trend is dangerous.
Yo, so I'm very honest. I've
Yeah.
used trend before.
Yeah.
Felt amazing on it, bro. I was lifting weights that I've never even thought of.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a cycle. So I had surgery for
Yeah.
gyno to remove
Yeah.
it. Right. I'm very honest.
Yeah.
So before that, I was on a cycle. I was using trenbolone and testosterone. Very low dosages though.
Yeah.
200 milligrams a week.
Yeah.
100 Monday, Thursday. Longer esters.
For sure.
And we were on week 4, right? The esters aren't even kicking in because, they're long esters.
Yeah.
And on week 4, I was, benching 120-pound dumbbells for reps, feeling fucking stupid. Like, it was crazy. And then I got hit up with the opportunity to remove my gyno, and I got off the gear.
Yeah.
Now that I'm off it, I still do hundreds.
Yeah.
I feel very strong off it.
It changes your muscle density forever. You know what I mean?
Explain what that is, muscle density.
Basically, like the how your muscles are condensed inside your body. I know that's just basically what I just said. But you have a certain type of muscle frame, right? Now, once you start building muscle, for example, you build a certain type of muscle nuclei within the muscle. Now, that muscle nuclei can never be it can never go down. It can only increase. So even if you do a cycle or do gear or whatever, you increase that number, you multiply that number, and say you just fall off. You stop lifting weights, even though your muscles shrink, that nuclei, that number is still within the muscle. So as soon as you start lifting again, that strength and all of that comes back like that. Like you're literally back at the same size. Like you can get back to the same size, maybe not the same exact size you were when you were doing trend, but you would be close to it if you ate right and trained hard enough. Now to oversee that and get past that point, that would be hard for you.
So here comes another good question. You said that you train these girls for free, right? And it's in exchange for them letting you film them. So you're helping them out by getting them in better shape. They're helping your business out by letting you post them on your social media, which in return, you're also helping them because your social media is humongous.
For sure.
If they want the clout.
Yeah.
That's very smart. So how many of those girls have you actually kicked out because you saw they were not taking their nutrition seriously? Because nutrition is such a big component to this.
It happens sometimes. And the funny thing is I've been a trainer for so long that I can always tell from the very start how serious somebody's going to be. It's very easy. Like, they give you an excuse at the beginning, then they give you an excuse at the second time, and then you just realize you're just not serious about this. And then it just becomes that conversation where it's like, look, I got a limited time, which I only train 2, maybe 3 people a day, and I have so many people hit me up for training every day that like if you're not going to
If you're being trained by him, you're like
yeah, no, honestly,
special. You're rare.
It's not even that special. It's almost like you just had the opportunity and I had an opening.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to also train girls who look like models. Like I do half and half. So I like to train women who are everyday women because if I transform them, most people see them and think they're relatable to their body figure. And then they say, oh, if she did it, then I can do it. And that's really what I want to promote. Now, I understand that people also like to see women with good bodies as well. So I train some of them and they don't really need help with the nutrition because a lot of them are sometimes trainers themselves, but they just need to get that extra push. Those are really fun people to work with because you can do anything like, and they're just like athletes, you know? But to take someone who was maybe overweight or someone who's skinny fat or super skinny and help them build that muscle, to me, that's more of a rewarding client because not only did I help them get in shape, but I helped them feel more confident about themselves. But it happens a lot. Like often I always reach out to people or people who reach out to me who are not in shape. And I say, all right, this is a golden opportunity. I really want to help this person. Like I'm more enthusiastic about that
than they are.
Than some girl who's an athlete because I think that the reward is so much bigger. But what happens is they start making these excuses and I start to realize that, okay, you're not out of shape because of genetics. It's you. It's like, most of the time it's the character of the person. Like they just don't take responsibility. They don't eat right. They find excuses. I got a million excuses. Like you have a million excuses. Like, you know, I think people see our lives and they see two successful people and they think that we don't got the same 24 hours and we don't got the same hurdles. We just respond differently to them. And I'm not really like one of them coaches to like to scream on you and yell at you. I'm not that guy. Like I'm a cool guy. Like I just keep it real with you. I keep it 100. Now, if you just aren't gonna, you know, do it, I just say to myself, okay, this is why out of your shape because you find an excuse. You let excuses run you. Like
I think we know something about Kristen.
Oh, it was Kristen.
Damn, this guy. No, it's not a girl. It's
okay.
My barber.
Okay.
Man.
Shout out to your barber, man.
Shots at him.
But he has that excuse. The same thing happens, you know?
Yeah.
He's just a person, man. It's the same thing with business, bro.
Now he's training with a different trainer.
He's by himself now.
No, he's changed trainers 3 times.
Whenever I have a client come to me and they start complaining about their previous trainer, I'm like, okay. First I listen to it, but I know that it was probably you that was the issue. Because most trainers at the end of the day, they just help you work out. Even if they don't know exactly what they're doing, if you're moving your body, you're burning calories. And if you're trying to lose weight, you just got to be in a calorie deficit. Like you don't have to be in a huge deficit. You just have to burn more calories than you take in. It is really that simple. Like we can complicate it to whatever to make it sound fancy. But at the end of the day, that's the basis of it.
What if you are in a calorie deficit and you're still consuming carbs?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Long as the carbs are part of the deficit. You need carbs. I mean, you need fats, you need protein, you need carbs. Like you could go low carb, but to me, if you go low carb, to me, in my opinion, you're putting yourself at risk of losing a lot of muscle mass. Like, and that's even with increasing your protein. Now, if you increase your protein too much, you're going to run into issues with like, you know, your kidney if you're not drinking a shit ton of water. Because, you know, protein is a highly thermogenic macronutrient. It takes your body a lot to process it. So you don't really want to be putting that much on your system, all that. So now you see a lot of education now coming out about fasting and not eating a lot of meals throughout the day and regulating your insulin levels.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
With the fasting, I see people now doing 3-day fast, 5-day fast.
Yeah.
Do you fast?
I don't fast. I'm not an expert on fasting. It's actually one of the things I'm trying to educate myself on. I'm more of the old school bodybuilding approach where I just
5-6 meals.
I just look at the calories, bro. I look at the calories and I look at the macros. And however you get them in, to me, that's all that matters. Now, there's a difference between eating to look good and eating to be healthy. There are 2 different things, and people get them confused.
Explain that.
Now, okay, so
eating to look good.
Eating to look good is about numbers. Period. Like is about the numbers of your protein, your fats, your carbs, and your calories. Now, you could have Twinkies and donuts and eat chicken breasts and all that kind of stuff, and you could have a 6-pack if you have the right type of calories going in for your body type, you know, and the amount of calories you burn and all. You figure that system out. Now, you have terrible cholesterol, you know, high LDL levels, you know, low HDL levels and all those things. And you might be on the verge of a heart attack, but you look good. You know what I mean? Or you could be a person who's in shape. You don't have abs, like, but you're healthy. You have good cholesterol, low blood pressure. You're just a healthy individual. So so a lot of people get them confused because people hit me up on the DM, say, oh, I eat healthy. And I'm like, that's cool. But if you want to lose weight, if you want to build muscle and lose body fat, I'm more of the physique type of trainer. I don't really dip into the health field. Now, I'm educated on health, and I'm obviously going to tell you to choose healthy items, but I'm not the type of person who's going to make you eat chicken breast and rice and all that kind of stuff. I like to tell people that everything in moderation is fine, because long as you're getting this amount of calories in, you're still going to be able to lose body fat.
Yeah.
So carbs don't really make a difference,
So help me out here. Let's say I weigh 189, right? Maybe 190. I'm just going to say 189. It looks better. That's actually, by the way, you know how you spoke about pricing?
Yeah.
Me not selling a product at 200 and selling it at 189.99, taking off $10, world of a difference.
Okay.
I got more sales than when I was selling it at 200.
Do you sell products?
Used to.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I used to. Before I got into the side of the industry that I am now. All right.
Because you're like a day trader, right?
Yeah, I day trade.
Honestly,
but
like, I rock with y'all, bro.
I'm in a lot. Off the camera, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
The dark side, right?
But I rock with you guys because I got to be real. I knew nothing about this industry.
Yeah.
I heard about it, but I didn't know it was real until I moved into my newest neighborhood, and my next door neighbor was a day trader, and you guys know each other.
What's his name?
Raul.
Okay, cool.
He literally lives next door to me, and I'm pulling up, and I'm doing okay for myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on out here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's a young guy, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And he started telling me, I'm like, that's what's up, bro. Like, I was so happy for him. I'm like, this is
dope.
Different. This
so,
is different.
Check this out. 189. That's how much I weigh, right? For me to be in a calorie deficit, how many calories at 189 should I be consuming?
Okay, so I have a very easy way to do this. It's a very simple math. So
I'm going to bring out the calculator.
Okay, fine.
Go
so
ahead.
You take your weight, right? Now,
Yeah.
if you want to lose weight, it's all about also how, like, your activity level. So someone who burns a lot of calories is obviously going to need more calories than somebody who burns a little bit of calories, right? So if you live a sedentary lifestyle, you take 180 and you're going to multiply that by, say, how many days per week do you work out?
I work out 6 days a week, 5 days a week, and I work out twice. One is MMA, and then the other one's
you work out
weightlifting.
6 days a week. So that's a lot. So I would times that by 14. That's around how many calories you need. It's very simple. That's literally how you do it.
2,520.
That's a rough estimate, a ballpark figure that works for most people. So that's literally what you do. So there's a range that they have actually documented where you take your weight and then you say, okay, if I'm a sedentary lifestyle, I'm going to times that number by 11, 2 times a week, and by 12, 3, 4 times a week, by 13, and so forth, and 15. And then you go certain calories number if you want to get maintenance, and if you want to go to a surplus, then it's even higher.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So for you to lose weight at the amount of calories that you burn per day, then that's pretty much what you need.
So here comes the second one. What should the protein, fat, carbs be?
All right, so that's a lot of math, but I can do the protein really easy.
Yeah, the protein.
The protein is easy. So typically you want to take 1 gram per pound of body weight. Some people do 0.82. I say if you're trying to maintain the muscle mass that you built, then you're going to need a higher amount of protein. So I usually go for 1 gram. So you'll take 180 times
1.
You need 180 grams of protein per day.
Gotcha.
Simple as that. And then once you get that number,
Yeah.
you can take that and then you calculate it into the carbs, and then you get the fats and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty easy math, though, to be honest with you. It's a very simple thing. I've done an Instagram video on this, but people are just not. It's just when you start to get into like division and stuff like that, it's just hard to explain on a Instagram reel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of
Do you have a YouTube?
I need to get better on YouTube, man. I did really well on TikTok. TikTok I got like, I think 1.2 or 1.3. I can't remember. Instagram is okay. But I need to work on my YouTube channel, man. I got like 20,000 subscribers, and those are just people who found me through the other social platforms. It's not like actual active.
Because it leads as a funnel.
I know, man.
Yeah.
I'm slipping, bro.
So
yeah.
Here comes, so we spoke about so much.
Yeah.
now you're in this point of your life, 2023, 2024. What is it that you're doing now, and how has everything been significantly different than back in 2019, 18?
To be honest, I've took less focus on just the financial gain and focused on more spiritual gain. Like, I'm like super going to church every Sunday. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Taking my daughter to church. I met a guy who taught me like more about like time management. So I'm finding out that I can do so much more with my day. I got so caught up in my operation that I was just doing operative things all day and I wasn't really getting ahead. You know, I was just kind of stuck in this cycle.
Loophole. Yeah.
Exactly. So now I'm kind of like, prioritizing meditating. I'm prioritizing like morning day, like prayers in the morning. I operate throughout the middle of the day. I make sure that I read at least 15, 20 minutes per every day, like literally every single day. And that's really it. I mean, that's the only difference I can say that I'm moving toward. I think that has helped keep me grounded. So a lot of things that are happening in my business that used to, I don't want to say set me back, but used to frustrate me much more. I can just handle with so much more grace now.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah. Most people ignore those things. Like, prayer is such an important thing because through prayer you manifest.
Absolutely.
And through manifestation you create the image in your head of what you want, and then you go out and achieve it.
Absolutely.
And I tell people all the time, if you do not have a manifestation, if you do not pray, if you do not think about constantly the things that you want to achieve, how are you gonna get to them? If you don't have the vision, you get me?
To me, I
Yeah.
have 3 wins that I try to focus on everything. You probably heard this, but my mentor actually gave this to me. And he was like, look, you need a spiritual win, you need a physical win, and you need a professional win. Now, my spiritual win is, like I said, it's a true meditation every morning. Like, I have these little goggles I put over my eyes. And, I was listening to guided meditations, and then I just stopped doing that, where I literally would just meditate myself. And then it got into like actual prayer, a prayer toward God and to things that I personally were thankful for, not really asking for it, just grateful for, asking for strength and just gratitude completely for everything that I have so far. And then obviously in my regular day, I'm giving so much value. Like in my regular life, it's not, obviously it's an exchange for money. We get that. Like, I'm making the money doing this, but at least when you get the product, I'm giving you something real.
That has quality.
Yeah. I'm not scamming you whatsoever. People, everybody on Instagram or even any type of social platform, they think everything is a scam. And I'm like, man, I wouldn't have survived this long if I was scamming somebody.
Exactly.
Like, they would have been caught me. Like, I'm not scamming.
Every scam gets caught.
Yeah.
And something that I hate about people, they're like, oh, you're giving out free quality information, but you're charging people for it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, when you go and you buy groceries, it's to feed you, but you're still paying for it.
Absolutely.
When you go and you watch a movie, it's entertaining you, but you're still paying for it. Like, everything that you want, majority of the things actually, you're exchanging money for it.
Exactly.
So it's no different than what you do and than what I do.
Or even some type of currency.
Yeah.
You're exchanging your time for it.
Exactly.
So even me training these girls, it's like they're not paying me, but we are exchanging currency. I'm getting content out of it. I'm helping educate other people. I'm motivating other people. So to me, that's really my physical win. And I also exercise myself. I go to the gym and that's my time to just take my mind off of things. Like that hour, I'm just like, I'm just going to hit the gym. I work out in my garage a little bit, but we had this conversation. I just got to get out the house, man. Like, I'm working from home so much.
That's why I drive 30 minutes every day to just get the fuck out and enjoy the road, enjoy music.
Enjoy music. Yeah, man.
Because for me, it's like, I live in A, and then I come down to B, and it's like I'm still in the same place.
Yeah, you didn't do anything.
You get me? So it's not like I'm really out.
So you're just going downstairs, literally. Like,
just
doing nothing.
Just going downstairs to an office. And then I spent a lot of time in here, especially last week in here. I spent about 100 hours working just in front of the computer because I had to do a lot of things where I was with a group of people in business, and they were taking care of a lot of things for me and my partners. Then me and my partners are like, we're getting scammed. These people are overcharging us.
Sure.
Yeah, and we're like, F these people, we're going to do it by ourselves. And I was quite scared because I'm like, fuck. Like, customer support alone it's been a fucking headache.
Yeah.
You get me? And I'm training people, but with customer support alone, I've put in 50 hours, and I hate customer support.
Did you understand that? Why are they scamming you? Because they're doing something you can't do yourself, and you didn't know.
They were being the middleman to everything that we could do.
Yeah.
Think about this. There's a tree, right? And if you reach with your arm, you could grab the orange.
Mm-hmm.
They're just being the middleman that grabs it and gives it to you and charging you for that, right? So when I saw that logic, I'm like, fuck that. And then I also told my partners, I'm like, how the fuck are we ever going to grow if we keep having someone in between? You get me?
This is fact.
So then that's where we decided to separate.
Yeah.
I told my team it's been a shit show, but it's only for the first month.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we understand how operations run. We understand how customer service runs, and everything will start to get smoother. So we've been 1 week into it. Things are already a lot smoother.
That's dope, bro.
We're done with the rough waters.
So this is aside from the trading that you do.
Yes.
This is a different company. Yeah. I wanted to ask you something. I know you asking me questions, but like, how'd you get into the trading thing, bro? Like, is that a quick story or is?
Yeah, that's very quick. I got tricked into the industry. I got scammed into the industry. My friend, we were 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We go to, no, I'm sorry. He comes over to my place and he shows me this trading account with $7,000. At 18, $7,000 to me was a lot of money. Yeah, you got me?
It's definitely a lot of money.
So, and especially when you don't come from a lot. I'm not going to pretend to be like I was super broke, but my parents didn't have money for the best shoes. You got me?
It's like middle class, like lower middle class.
Lower,
That's how
right.
I was. I was lower middle class.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, shows up. He's like, yo, I'm making $7,000 in this market. I see a chart. Fucking lines everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. I thought it's biology. I don't know. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I have not a clue. So he's like, yo, if you want tonight, they're having a big presentation at Florida International University, FIU, where they're teaching people how to get involved. So I'm like, let's go, right? And then I'm like, how should I dress? And he's like, oh, dress professionally, right? So I go with a button-up shirt and some nice pants. And I show up to this room. The room has 500 people, packed. You get me? You have people sitting on the floor watching this presentation. And it's someone very big in network marketing. Very, very big. And he's showing this product called iMarkets Live, IML, or IM. Mm-hmm. And instantly I get hooked onto it. So I buy the monthly subscription, which is $250. I asked my uncle for the $250. And then I come back home, I start looking at the products, and I still don't understand it. I'm going through the academy, still don't understand it. So a few days pass by, and then we're at McDonald's, me and him, right before going to the university, because that company had a affiliate side where you recruit people into it, which is what he did. And I'm like, hey, can you pay for this? If you don't mind, as soon as we get back to the car, I'll pay for it. The reason that I said that was because the car was in the parking garage and McDonald's is all the way here in FIU. You got me? It's like, it's kind of a long distance. It's like from the arena to a parking garage. It's a long distance. It's a long distance. You got me? So I'm like, I'll pay you when we get back to the car. And he's like, oh, I don't have money. I'm like, what do you mean? You made $7,000 last week. And he's like, no, that was a demo. That was a fake account. That was like paper money. It wasn't real money. And I'm like, fuck. And I got tricked into the industry. And the worst part about it is that I quit my job thinking it was so easy.
Yeah.
And then I got involved in the industry. I started recruiting people because I got tricked into that aspect where they're like, if you recruit people, you'll make more money than trading, right? And I built a huge team of girls. I had like 50 girls in my team, right? The problem...
So you were the scammer now.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right.
So, I had like 50 girls in my team. And the thing that made me leave that company was my uplines, the people above me. Because all the guys that were above me tried to get at all the girls underneath me. So I'm like, fuck. So these girls are leaving my business because they feel like harassed. They're like, the fuck am I doing coming here for? Like, all these guys are trying to get at me. And then, bro, it just got to the point where in 1 week I lost like 20 people. So my rank, I was making $1,000 a month. From $1,000 a month, I went to $300 a month. I was like, yo, fuck this trading stuff. and I go and start working at Amazon. When I start working at Amazon, that's where I made my first comma, right?
So just working a job.
Just working a job,
stacking the money.
Yeah, I would work overtime, and I'll make like 1,600 every 2 weeks.
Okay,
so that's my first comma.
Yeah.
Right, and then after a year there, I start reading about the 48 laws of power, and I start becoming this version where I'm like, I'm better than what this place has to offer for me.
Yeah.
So I become a program developer on Amazon. I start to level up. Yeah. But at that point, I'm better than what this has to offer to me.
Yeah.
And I'm making pretty decent money, 90 grand a year.
Okay, that's decent.
And then I start looking back into the trading. And this is 3 months before COVID happens. I start trading. So then on month 3, a month before COVID happens and everything gets locked down, or majority of places get locked down, I decide to leave Amazon for a whole month. I walk out of the warehouse at 1:40 a.m. because I work the night shift. The night shift at any job is a lot calmer than the day shift. That's why. So when I walk out, I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm better than this. I start trading. Me thinking I'm going to make so much money because the 2 months previous, I made a lot of money on a demo, not on a live account. So I put 10,000 into an account. I lose it in 1 week, literally. So then I put another 2,000. The 2,000, I turn it into 6,000 over 3 weeks. Then on the 4th week, day 2, I lose it all. So I'm like, yo, fuck this. Have to go back to Amazon. So I go back to Amazon. They're like, you're fired.
Yeah, what do you mean? Just go back? Like, that's all.
You haven't been here in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You don't have any personal time off or vacation time off.
So you just showed up to work like
I just showed up like nothing happened. They're like, you're fired. And then they're like, do you have like a medical reason? And then I'm like, yeah. Like, something happened to me. What happened to you? I couldn't think of something fast enough. And then they're like, well, if you have one, you need to go get a doctor's note. And Amazon will call the doctor and verify a bunch of stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to go through that headache.
Yeah, I'm done.
So then the next week, well, not that I didn't want to go through that headache. The same week, I'm looking for a doctor. And I'm telling any doctor, hey, I'll pay you $2,000 if you bullshit Amazon.
Yeah.
The very next week, all jobs get locked down. So I'm fucked. Amazon's locking down its doors. Like for a whole month, Amazon, that MIA 1 in Opa-locka did not operate at all. That's like a headquarters to them. And
this is 2020.
2020, yeah. They did not operate. So then I got back into network marketing. And I got into this company named B. And what I did differently in this company was I did not recruit girls. I just went after all the guys. And in that company, after 6 weeks in the company, I was making 30 grand a month. Crazy significant difference. 30 grand a month, 30 grand a month. Then I followed this mentor from that company onto another one where whenever I spoke to him, I felt like I was speaking to someone that had character and integrity.
That's big.
And I was being deceived because of my perspection of him. You get me? I was being deceived, which is crazy because they talked about that last week in church. Don't be deceived by a loved one. You get me? Don't be deceived by what you think is good.
How do you know what deception is? Because at the end of the day, you just have to trust somebody at face value until they show you reasons of why you
exactly.
can't just...
Your perception.
Yeah.
So I was being deceived by this person because they were telling me, yes, if you follow me here, it'll be great. And I worked for this guy 8 months for free, building his whole back structure of the company and creating things through Excel, coding things through SQL for the programs to work and function correctly. Because back in 2020, AI was not as popular as it is today.
Yeah, no.
And follow him, work for 8 months for him for free, not making 30 grand a month anymore. I'm just working on my savings. And
but you chose to leave that 30 grand to do this because it was a better opportunity.
Okay. And he deceived me by telling me that company was operating with incorrect intentions for their customers. And I didn't fuck with that. And I thought this guy was a guy of character.
Yeah,
so I followed character over money, which was very hard to do when I was very hard to do when I was 20 years old. Following character over money.
But that says a lot about you to even care about that.
Yeah.
Because most people would just turn a cheek and don't care as long as they're getting their money. To know that I don't want to have my money come from a bad source says a lot about the person you are.
Well, it gets better because After the 8th month, we're launching the company, April. And when we're launching the company, we launch it, not the best launch, because I told him we shouldn't launch it. Like, shit isn't ready, but he insists on launching it. But I knew shit wasn't ready. Here's what happened. On the first day of the launch, the website crashes. Fuck. On the second day of the launch, we get the website up and running. The back office is not placing people correctly underneath you. So let's say you brought me and Chris underneath you.
Yeah.
It's placing me underneath you, but it's not placing Chris underneath you. It's placing him above you. So it's a shit show. And I told him it's not ready to be launched. So a month goes by. I fix a lot of the issues, and it's time for him to pay me, compensate me. And he's like, hey, I'm going to look over the numbers, and based off that, I'll compensate you. Great. A week passes by. 2 weeks pass by. And then after 2 weeks, I'm like, it doesn't take that long to look over an Excel file.
Yeah.
You get me? It takes 10 minutes, in my opinion. I'm just like, hey, man, are you ever going to compensate me for all this work? And then he's like, oh, because your team, I brought in a big team of people. I was the second highest rank in that company. Because your team did chargebacks. Do you know what a chargeback is?
Yeah.
I'm not going to compensate you. I'm like, what does my team have to do with what I've done over the last 8 months? And he didn't really want to explain himself to that question. He just kept bringing it back to the whole team situation. And I'm just like, hey, man, keep the money. You know, your character is not what you say it is. Keep the money. I don't care. Have a great day. Terminate my account. And I walked away from that business. And then from walking away with no money, nothing, just a lot of knowledge when it came to coding and SQL and a bunch of program development, I started one of the biggest companies that I still have today with my best friend. And I met my best friend playing Call of Duty 4 years ago. He's seen me get fucked over through 3 different people. And now this person's the third. And he's like, bro, when are we going to do something together? I'm like, bro, you live in fucking Sweden. What you mean, when are we going to do some shit together? And he's like, yeah, when are we going to do something together? And I'm like, when I have a big enough idea, I would include you in it. So then I got that big idea to create X company. I don't want to disclose it.
Yeah.
And we, he's like, give me a day to think about it. I'm like, give you a day? What is there to think about? I have the biggest idea of your life right in front of you.
What are we doing?
And then he's like, oh, I got to talk to my wife about it. I'm like, what does she know about business? What does she know about business? I'm like, either you're doing it or I'm picking someone else. And he's like, no, I'm doing it. What do I have to do? And I'm like, just get home and hop on Zoom. It's 1 a.m. He's out at his family's place. He's Muslim, so they were having a huge party.
Okay.
And he leaves it, gets on Zoom with me, and he's on Zoom from 1 a.m. to like 4 a.m. And I'm explaining to him everything in this call. We then bring in 2 other business partners, which are still with us today. We bring in a 5th. The 5th is the most retarded person I've ever met. I brought him in because he was broke. So I'm like, if you're broke and you work this hard for a company, imagine what you would do if the company pays you, right? So we're 2 months into business with this guy. He caused himself out of 7 figures a year by stealing $1,000.
Hold up, say that again.
He fucked himself out of 7 figures a year for stealing $1,000.
Why would he steal
retard?
Yeah, I don't understand.
We didn't reach 7 figures. That was way before we reached the 7 figures.
Yeah.
But he stole $1,000. And I'm very good with logistics. That's what I mainly operate now, logistics. And he thought I wouldn't find out. I found out within like 2 seconds. I'm like, yo, you're retarded. And then if he would have told me, hey, I took this money out to buy a Surface Pro for operations. It would have sounded a lot more legit than taking it out for this reason. You get me? So I'm like, you're stealing money. You never asked us for permission.
Yeah, that sucks, bro.
We're at a really big point right now. We're at 8 figures a year.
Oof.
And we still ask each other if we could do this and do that through our group. But long story short, the 2 other business partners are still with us, and my best friend, we took this company from nothing to 8 figures in 3 years.
Because I was trying to do the math, bro, and I'm like 2020, because it started in 2020 with this whole COVID thing. When
the business started in 2021.
Yeah, that's wild.
In 3 years.
That's wild. Yeah, that's amazing.
And that's one of the streams of revenue that have helped me acquire the lifestyle you see on Instagram. But to be honest, if it's not for the cars, people would look at me and think I'm regular. I'm a regular person.
The best thing to be, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just, be ready.
It's only the cars that give people the wrong misconception, and they may think I'm super wealthy.
You're into cars.
Yeah,
like,
I love it.
Like, yeah.
You buy the car, then you spend $150 putting shit.
I buy a car. So here's a good
You're like into it. Like,
you remember when you saw me with that white Lambo? It's still at the shop today.
I haven't seen. I shot it.
Yeah.
And then I went to the shop, and it's still there. It's getting ready.
I think I saw you build cars too, right? Like you.
Yeah, nah. That was me mainly fucking around and making me look good. I'm not gonna lie.
I was like, this dude builds cars.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I know how to do a lot of things on them, but not at the level, not at that technical level.
Man, that's dope. I'm just.
Yeah, Tommy. So Tommy's my mechanic.
Yeah.
He's a Korean. Super funny guy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, let me help you out with some of your content. And we started doing a bunch of content for him for free.
Yeah.
And he's like, no more content. I got too many people hitting me up. People, wanting things done to their cars.
Yeah.
And my car, the Lambo's still at the shop. My McLaren's at the shop.
Yeah.
Not because
how many cars do you have?
I have 5 cars at the moment. I have the Urus, the McLaren, the Corvette, the Lambo, and then the R8. And then this year, my goal is to the Urus. Yeah, I mentioned them. And then this year, my goal is to acquire a Lamborghini Aventador, the SVJ.
That one is fire.
Yeah, I love that car.
That car is crazy.
Everyone's telling me not to do it because they're slow, but I'm like, I don't care about the slow. I care about the sound.
The sound is insane, man. It wakes up the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little annoying to hear, but when you see it, it's like, man, it's like starting up a plane when you see that thing coming in. It's crazy. Which one's your favorite though?
And then after the Aventador, to get myself a plane, because you can't get much faster than what I have now.
You know how to fly?
No way. No. So here, something
whatever.
No. So something I do want to do this year is get into that. Okay. This year, towards the ending of the year, I want to get into getting a pilot's license, because with a car, bro, I'm building these cars to do crazy numbers, but after that, it's a car. It doesn't have wings.
That is literally what I'd be saying. It just becomes a car. That's the thing that I'm having the issue. I want to say the issue is I don't really want many things, man. Like, I don't really have.
So that's another problem I have. I have a lot of things that I want, so now I struggle with like here's a good thing. My girl's like, hey, I don't know what to cook for you because we've been out everywhere that's really good. Mm-hmm. So we don't appreciate the food how someone coming up would appreciate it. Yeah. Like, I would appreciate Poppy Steak back then a lot more than I do now. Yeah. I go to Poppy Steak and I mock the place. I put McDonald's. That's hilarious. Even though Poppy Steak is one of my favorite restaurants, I still
haven't been there, bro. I don't, for no reason. I just haven't gone, but I'm.
Are you a steak person?
I like steak, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely going to test it out. I know they have, what is it, like $1,000? That's when they come out.
Yeah, that's a Wagyu tomahawk.
Okay,
but they're known for that. That's what. So that briefcase, right, is what started Poppy Steak, because before Poppy Steak, they would settle it at Komodo, and they were settling that briefcase more than their ducks. And Komodo is known for their ducks. Yeah, you got me. And the owner of Komodo talks to the new owner of Poppy Steak. I think his name is David or Dave.
So the dude that does the whole thing like this?
No, that's Salt Bae. That's someone completely different.
Okay.
That's different.
Steak.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Basically, the owner of Komodo tells this guy who's a friend of his who introduced this steak as a menu piece, why don't we open up our own restaurant? Then they started Poppy Steak here, becomes a massive success, to the point now where everything that they're doing here that is successful, which is pretty much everything. I haven't seen one of their businesses fail. Yeah. They're duplicating it in Las Vegas, because Las Vegas now has a Fontainebleau. Yeah. Now is going to have a Live. Yeah. Now has Poppy Steak. Now has Komodo. So everything that they have that's successful from Miami, they're duplicating it in Vegas.
Man. Yeah, but and essentially they're trying to make Miami like Vegas. In a minute, like they have this street where 11 is at, and they're gonna call it District 11, and they have a bunch of towers that they're building. I actually bought one of the units over there. It's like tower
pre-construction.
Pre-construction,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's another thing I do, like put my money into like pre-construction units. Like I got like 4 of them actually right now in escrow. So it's a lot of investing going on. But one of the things they did is they brought me in. I went with my girl, and they brought us in, and they gave us these virtual reality tour of what it's gonna look like. And I had anxiety looking at it, because
It's crazy.
It's just like so much. I mean, they got these jumbotrons, and then they got a restaurant at the bottom floor, and the ceiling of the restaurant is the bottom of the pool, and then when you go up, it's the pool with.
So if I look up, I'm gonna look at an ass.
It's the bottom of the pool. It's the bottom of the pool, and the people. It's just crazy. It's crazy, and it's basically an experience.
Just look at that ant. Look at that ant.
Some Miami stuff for sure. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like where you just want to pop your camera out the whole entire time. So, man, they say that Miami is the fastest growing city in the U.S. right now. I don't know currently, but when we first went to look at this place, they said on average, I think
99% of statistics are wrong.
statistics are all skewed to what, you know.
Yeah.
To
I
make
think
anything
Miami's
sound
a
good.
really fast growing city though, because if you look at all the construction around here,
Yeah.
and then you look at all the construction happening in Wynwood, it's growing.
It is definitely gentrified.
Yeah,
based off what it used to
We were
be.
coming back. We were at the Goat Shed. It's an MMA gym, and we were
Yeah.
coming back, and he's like, "Damn, Wynwood is not what it used to be."
I moved here in 2021. So I'm seeing also a little later version of it. But
Yeah.
apparently Wynwood was like the hood.
When I moved
Yeah.
in 09, the 10, like,
It was like,
houses.
yeah.
How many fights did you get into in Wynwood?
I never went there. You don't,
That's a setup question.
you don't go there. Like, you don't know how certain cities, you wouldn't go there.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, like even Wynwood now, it seems it's nice and it's a turnout, but it seems a little like treacherous in a way. Like it's
Yeah,
a little,
I would.
like,
I don't. You know, I don't feel safe in Wynwood.
Yeah, I don't really
And I'm
feel-
always strapped up, and I still don't
Me
feel
too.
safe.
Me too. I'm always strapped up, bro. Miami makes you turn into that.
Dude,
Like,
so I get him a P365, right, handgun,
yeah.
and I'm thinking
I never shot in my life. You buy me a gun. I'm like, oh, shit.
You haven't shot it yet?
No.
I did.
Oh, okay.
But I never
Oh, so we go to the firing range. It's outdoors.
Don't say this story, bro.
It's outdoors, right? So it's an outdoor range. So
Yeah.
indoors, you could just shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot. It doesn't matter.
It's indoor.
You're right.
I like the outdoor ones, though.
Outdoor, though,
Yeah.
they're like seize all fire, right? So people could stop shooting and go get their targets because it's
Yeah.
outdoors. It doesn't have no
Yeah.
no
I've
wire.
been to one of those.
Yeah. Is it by Chrome?
I think so. My friend took me out there.
Yeah, where you're just
Yeah.
going straight and there's
Yeah,
That's the same one we were at.
Yeah.
So they say seize all fire, right? You don't hear shit. Everyone's quiet. All you hear is like people unloading, and you see him, Papa. Like, whoa,
Nobody was walking.
yo. The instructor runs to him saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "What's going on?"
They
Like,
take that shit very seriously.
yo, no, because imagine
Yeah,
someone's
somebody
there.
would have walked out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that would have
Bro,
been
so
a charge.
I got him.
That would have changed your life, right? Yeah, that would have changed your life, right? Yeah.
In Spanish, so these guys are like these gringos, but in Spanish, he's like, "Man, fuck these people." I'm like, "Yo, you're the one."
I understand it.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Gave me anxiety. I didn't know what
Yeah. I just got into it probably like a year ago, and I never knew it was so therapeutic. You know?
Shooting?
Yeah, man. I had a.
What do you shoot?
I got a Sig Sauer, and then I also got a Moxburg shotgun pump.
Mm-hmm.
That's just crazy. You know, like shooting that joint is.
Lewis had a fever.
Oh, really?
5 months. He just said, "I'm gonna buy every gun that I play with in Call of Duty."
Oh, yeah, and I did.
Every other
I
day,
mean, my next gun is gonna be an AK because I really want.
I have
to
an
own
AK.
it. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
bro, I
every
really.
other day we would go pick up a different gun. I'm like, "Yo, bro, like, how much more guns do you need?"
I have a lot of guns now.
It's well, you know, unfortunately, I've been in a situation where you know I feel like I needed a gun, so that taught me that
Same.
I don't want to be a walking victim, like hoping nothing happens to me. Especially now that I have a daughter, so I always feel the need to have my strap on me. Like,
I'll tell you something after the podcast that's gonna shock you. Yeah,
okay,
but no. Now I have I have a lot of guns. I next to my bed I sleep.
I had a P89 Ruger, and it got stolen from me, unfortunately. But
I don't. Yeah.
so
All
that's
my
it.
guns.
I'll tell you about that. On
Yeah.
that one too.
For me, I sleep next to a Scorpion with no stock, so I can move with that Scorpion like someone will move with a handgun in case someone were to come into my house.
Yeah.
But you know, we go to the firing range. This guy, you know, he shoots his gun. He knows how to shoot, but he never carries it. So I'm like, bro, it's gonna be that one day that you don't carry it. That some shit's gonna happen. Who knows?
You know,
and you're
what's
gonna be like,
weird?
fuck.
I was like, no. So I'm like you. I was always scared to carry it because it felt weird. You know, like I just didn't.
You wear like baggy clothes.
Yeah, it felt weird. Then I got to the point where I
He
felt.
wears pants that fall down.
But now I got to the point where I feel weird without it, man. Like, I'm just like, man, I feel naked right now. Like, anything could happen to me. Somebody, and
You're training a client, you're still stressed.
No. They think it's crazy. Like, girl, let me not say that. I feel like most women are a little intimidated by guns. Like, whenever I talk about, like, guns or anything like that to, like, my sisters and stuff like that, they'd be like, I don't like guns. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, why you got a gun? So even my mom is like freaked out by
My mom.
She's freaked out by the guns and all of that kind of stuff. So, and my girl definitely doesn't rock with it. But now she's into it because of the situation that happened with me, and she's like, okay, I need to get a strap too. So
Yeah. Well, bro,
Yeah.
I think we have talked about
yeah,
so
we
many
talked
things.
about a lot, man. I really appreciate you bringing.
I
me through
appreciate you
here.
coming.
Nah, for real. Honestly, like, you're a good dude, man. I'm glad we connected. We definitely got to hang out sometime,
Yeah,
man. Grab some dinner, take me
100%.
to one of these restaurants. You know what I mean? Let's chop it up.
I do have a question.
What's
If you
up?
could see anyone else in the podcast, who would you like to see? I've never asked this before, but
Never before.
no, this is my first time asking this. If you could see someone in the podcast,
This
who
is
would you
like
like
an
to see?
Instagram person, or
It could be anyone. Instagram, it could be someone you train, it could be someone that you know, anyone.
Have you done one with Raul yet?
No.
I think that would y'all two would. That would be fire.
I'll explain that in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that would be, or not even them. I personally, I'm cool with him. I'm really cool with him. But I'm a big fan of his dad, man. To me,
Dr.
honestly,
G.
Yes, man. This guy, a situation happened to me personally, and the way that he reached out to me, the way he took care of me, and just the conversations we have just on text sometimes, I'm like, wow, this dude really, really cares about people. And I think that there's a certain level of genuineness that I can feel organically through people. And I like the OGs, bro. You know why? It's because they seen it. They done it already.
Fire.
Especially the ones that have success, you know, because you know that didn't just happen overnight, and they've been through ups and downs. Like,
Yeah.
So a lot of things that I've gone through, I know he has gone through as well. And I never really got to dive deep into him. And I could see him really doing really good on this podcast. So
Fire.
that's actually somebody I really think.
I'll invite him on.
Yeah.
With that being said, man,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate
you.
brother. Yeah, thank you, bro.